What up, world? It's your boy Dirty D. For those that know me, for those that follow me on IG, my handle is @RumpleSmoothSkin, and welcome to episode 12 of Digging in the Crate podcast. Now, today we're gonna talk about a sneaker, and I'm gonna be honest. When I saw the images of it, I was not happy, and then when we got official pictures of the actual retro, I almost punched the wall somewhere. So today we're gonna talk about the 2025 version of the Aqua 8 versus the 2015 version of the Aqua 8. And I gotta be honest, y'all, the 2015 version is definitely reigning over the 2025 version. One of the main things that I did not like that I saw about the 2025 version was this light skin suede on the back. Now the 2015 version, which is closer to the original, the suede is a little bit darker. Like I said, closer to that 1993 pair that Michael Jordan wore in Orlando in the All-Star weekend. Now, the last time this shoe retro was 2015, but there's a pair that came out before that. I actually beat the hell out of that pair. I don't have it to compare. It was the 2007 version of the Aqua 8, but the colors was super, super dark. You couldn't even see the gray highlights in the back of the sneaker, but the original shape of that shoe definitely reigned strong, definitely reigned supreme. And one of the major details that people, anybody who's at 8 level or any OG collector that knows about 8s, is the piping around the edges of all Jordans from that 90s era. So that's one of the major details that they got wrong on this 2025 pair that I was absolutely looking forward to seeing before the images came out. Jordan 8s, Jordan 7s, and Jordan 6s are known infamously for the piping to see the edging because you can see the details of the shoe. 2025 version, not so much. It gets lost. You can barely see it. Like, you can barely see it, if at all. This material, again, the 2015 version is way closer to the original Durabuck. Nubuck, whatever you know, Durabuck was what they used back, when Jordan was hooping. Nubuck is what they use now because I think it's just easier to use, Nubuck versus Durabuck, or it's way more expensive, or whatever the case. I don't really know. It just looks better. The toe cap here versus the toe cap here, and that's another major highlight when it comes to the original 1993. Hell, even the 2002 pairs that came out of the Bugs Bunny. The toe cap, this is a 2013 version. I beat the hell out of the 2002 version, so I don't have nothing to compare. But the toe cap, like even this, like the leather on here is terrible, but the actual shape of this is what the toe cap is supposed to look like versus this 2025 pair. Now, another highlight a lot of people complained about on the 2015, but was actually visible on the actual original pair that came out in 93, is the speckles. That's another highlight. Now, the 2025 version, you see it, but you don't see it. It's a little bit more iridescent versus with the 2015 pair. A lot of people complain it's too much speckling, but if you actually look at a 1993 pair of Aqua 8s, or even if you went back and had a 1993 or a 2002 pair of the Bugs Bunny 8s, which come out later this year, hopefully they get that right. I'm praying that they get that right. You did see speckles. This is a 2013 pair, so they did not have the speckling on the actual midsole here of the gray, but you definitely are supposed to see the speckling of the midsole or outsole on this 2015 pair. Now, another thing that I miss so much, is retro cards. Please, Nike, find it in your heart somewhere to bring back retro cards. This used to be, especially with these tariffs, like $215 for these and no retro card is crazy. So, it's just a lot of details that, if y'all gonna make us pay all this money, please start bringing back some of these nostalgic moments to make us feel at least some type, because I definitely feel a way about these. I'm probably going to hold on to them because, just in case this pair starts crumbling, then I'll have a pair of Aqua 8s, because a lot of people know that this paint, especially on the 07 pair, started cracking and crumbling and peeling and all type of nastiness going on This pair actually has a gloss on it. I just noticed that. This is closer to the OG, like the matte finish. It just looked so promising when this came out in 2015. The direction, the shape that they were going in, as far as like the retros of the Aquas, you know, and going into the, you know, playoff, which I should have known with the playoff 8 that came out a few years back. They changed the toe cap on that as well, and we just wasn't happy with that. They did bring back the original materials, but again, that piping, that edging, that's one of the major keys that we have to see on Jordan 6s, 7s, and 8s. That piping is like one of the major details. Hell, even 4s and 5s, they had it as well. That piping is definitely needed. You need to see the edging on there. A lot of people go in and customize it and they add the edging. I've seen a lot of people on Instagram say that they're going to take these, they're going to dye this darker, probably going to end up using some mink oil. I do know that mink oil will probably eventually end up making this look a little bit darker. But like I said, for those who didn't pick it up in 2015, please go get it. You know, this is a good way to, you know, start, you know, to fill that void of not having that 2015 pair. But, you know, this is just a shoe, like I said, like Nike's been very hit and miss this year. And I think these sat, honestly, like it's been a couple of days, so they might still have sizes left. But, you know, it's just disappointing. Like I said, the 2015 pair was so promising. And then we get to, you know, the 2025 pair and they just, you know, do whatever the hell they want to do. But a lot of the year left. Still, we still got a lot of shoes left, so we'll see what happens. All right, so let's go ahead and know what y'all here for and dig in the crate. So I'm going to talk about another shoe that needs the retro. These came out in 2012. The Air Jordan 7. They call it Raptor, but we call it Playoff 7 because the Raptors team wasn't out yet. Again, this is a 2012 pair. I did not pick up, and I kick myself in the ass all the time for not picking up the 2002 pair of these that came out, which are way, way, way closer to the original pair. You do see the piping on these, the edging on these, and I did not have to do any customizations. It actually came like that, but like the materials that you see here should have been on here. So like the original pair, 92, because, you know, Jordan wore this in the finals when we played the Portland Trail Blazers and bust their ass. It was two different type of textures on here. So you had this type of texture that's seen on the 2025, and then you had the actual nubuck texture. So like the inner portions here had this type of suede or durabuck or nubuck, and then everything else was just your regular durabuck. This shoe also wasn't that popular. I think it's starting to pick up a lot of volume now because we haven't seen it in a very long time. And it's necessary. Like, it's time for Nike or Jordan Brand to go ahead and bring a proper version of this out. It's been a very long time. I wasn't a huge fan of this shoe. And then eventually I ended up liking it. And I ended up getting the 2012 pair. But like I said, it just never lived up to that 2002 version or the original version that came out. It's still a great shoe, and I've been wearing the hell out of it. Like, even the Durabuck on here is starting to peel a little bit. But no, it'd be nice to see them finally, hopefully in 2026, if not 2027, hopefully, to retro this, retooled, remastered, you know, just giving us that Air Jordan 7 playoff. A great shoe. And it just, you know, that Huarache, from that Huarache era. And just see them bring that back, you know, instead of like destroying, you know, classic retros like what we got here. All right. I want to thank y'all for tuning in to episode 12 of Digging in the Crate podcast. Please like, share, and subscribe on YouTube. It's your boy Dirty D, Rumple Smooth Skin. I'll see you guys on the next episode. Peace.